Cool.
Boom.
We're recording. That's recording. That's recording. Cool. So you're gonna lead them?
Sure.
All right.
Unless you'd like to.
I'm good.
Okay. Welcome to another episode of The Fake Philosophers. I am your host for today, or lead in. We don't like to label things. But my name is Mitch. Today is Mike. It's just the two of us. But before we get into it today, we really want to give a nod to our not sponsors. So this episode not brought to you by Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. It is a charity. I don't
think I've heard of this one.
You've never heard of Cars for Kids?
Maybe I've heard the slogan, but I don't think I've.
Okay.
Go on.
Primarily, I hear them on the radio, which I know it's whatever. But they have a jingle for their commercials. It goes 1877 Cars for Kids.
I have heard that.
Okay.
You're right.
It is so god-awfully annoying at this point. If
You'd rather the kids die.
I'd rather them at least skip a meal or two. God damn it! It's
worth it.
It's so bad. It's so annoying. And I get that the concept of a jingle is to get it stuck in your head so that when you're thinking about donating your cars today, you're gonna think Cars for Kids and donate your car. But you know what? No, it's so bad and so annoying. I'm telling everybody to take their car to a pick apart. They'll give you like cash on hand and go, and then take that cash and give it to a local charity or whatever. Do whatever you can. Donate your car to a family that let them decide, but do not take it to Cars for Kids. It's so annoying. Mike, how's your week going?
It's going okay.
Yeah.
You okay?
I'm doing pretty well. It's what I was kind of realizing is that this 8:05 that I'm having is the first beer I've had since the weekend. It is Wednesday today, which I know for most normal people would be like, okay. But, my wife and I were talking, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to try not drinking during the week. I'm going to try just keep it to the weekends. Saves money mostly. I think that episode we did about reasons not to drink,
money.
The money really stuck with me. So
yeah, this is actually I got beer today because I know you were coming over. We're going to film, but what I've been kind of doing is I don't stop drinking, but I don't drink at home.
Oh, interesting.
Like, so if I'm out, I'll have a drink with somebody, or, if I'm at work and I'm done working for the day, I might have a beer. But at home, I think my main drinking habit is not like getting tanked, but like I'm at home, I'm chilling, I'll crack a couple beers open.
Right. So like social drinking.
Yeah.
Keep into social drinking. Mm-hmm. That's a good, safe way to go.
Yeah. But that's what we were talking about off camera. I noticed, so my fiance's out of town on work for like a week and a half. And it just hasn't because when she's home, we cook a lot. Mm. And I tend to be the one cooking unless she has like a recipe in mind. So I'll cook home meals when she's home.
Right.
And then like when she's gone, because she travels for work every now and then, I'm just like, I'm not going to cook for for one person. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's just one of those, I'm like, I don't want to cook, go through the trouble if I'm only making one plate.
Yeah.
It's an irrational thing. I'm not defending my stance.
Yeah.
But, so I've ordered a lot of takeout.
If you don't mind me asking, if it's not too much of a personal question, but what is the longest you've lived just you alone? No roommates, not with family, not but just you.
I have never actually lived alone.
Oh wow, okay.
So timeline, so in college I lived in the dorm, then I lived in an apartment with roommates, and then I lived in a house with roommates. Upon moving home, I lived with the folks for a couple years, and then from there, it literally just moved in with my lady.
Cool.
So yeah,
not disparaging.
No, yeah, no. So yeah, I never actually lived alone.
Yeah.
For longer than a week.
Wow. Okay. I moved out of my parents in with a roommate. My roommate decided to be an asshole and went and got married, so I had to move back home with my parents. Was going to save up and go that route, but then we got this contract where I got to move up to Central California and lived alone there because rent was under $500 for a 1-bedroom apartment up there, and it was
nice.
It was amazing. So that was my house. So I was like, I don't need a roommate. This is great. And so I lived up there for about 2 years. The last year I was like living both down here and up
I think I remember that.
Then moved back down, and then by then I was spoiled. I needed, I decided like I'm either gonna get married or I'm living the rest of my life, completely alone. And then so I lived alone for another 2 years or so down here. It was really expensive. Really expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Southern California.
it's great.
I think I want to make clear I'm not planning on, but like I think I would enjoy living alone.
Yeah. Well, what
To an extent.
what you talked about is cooking for yourself. It was something that I got really good at.
Well, I'm sure put in this circumstance, like if I had to, I would.
Yeah.
Because I know in college I'd cook for myself all the time.
Right.
Just normally now the difference is like, oh, I have someone to share it with. So when she's not here, I'm just kind of, my motivation goes away because I'm like, all right, like I'm not, because normally when I cook something, I'm like, hey, dude, what do you think about it? Now I'm not gonna have that conversation with myself.
Yeah, there's this misconception that when the people say the good way to save money is to not eat out all the time, is cook more at home. But when you're living at home, when you're living at home alone, wait, is we still? Yeah, okay. We were gonna explain why we're checking the camera, but I forgot about it.
I'll explain now to pause you.
Pause.
Just in case if you notice that this cuts in and out from two different angles, is because our camera. Our main camera has been acting up to where it just stops recording without letting us know. So we're recording here, our main camera, and then we also have a backup here from my laptop. I hope we don't have to use a laptop because there's a smudge in the lens and we can't get rid of it. So I hope we don't have to.
Right there, we should add a cut of like the laptop camera so you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, there we go. We'll cut back and forth from now. Right. Huh. But so if it does cut back and forth, it's because this fucking thing screwed up, and we're just doing our best.
We're shocked. I mean, I spent a whole like $120 on that camera from Amazon. And it's a DVC camera, and if you're wondering, DVC stands for digital video camera. So it's
glad we cleared that up.
It's top of the line.
It's not bad, like the video quality. It just for some reason it's just not. It's not happy.
Well, once we get famous, this is a nod to you listeners. This is your job now. Once we get famous, we can do some product placement and actually give you guys some good products. So in a way, this is all kind of on you guys.
It's your fault.
It's not. It's not their fault yet. We're just don't make us hit you.
We're saying like it's going to be your fault.
It's got to be exactly. Anyway,
you were saying. Living by yourself.
Living by yourself, get good for cooking for yourself, and that was about it.
Well, because you were saying that people say it's cheaper to cook at home.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, yeah, thank you. But when to cook a meal, a simple meal that requires various vegetables, stew, for example, you can't buy one stalk of celery. You can't buy one carrot.
Yeah, there's certain meals that...
You're going to need to buy a jar of ground cumin because you only need 1 teaspoonful of it. So making a meal for one person can add up, whereas making a meal for 4 people will cost about the same. Yeah,
and I'm not sure about you. I am guilty. Like even if I'm cooking for myself in college, this is a great example. Even recently, where like a stew, for instance, or a soup or something, or a roast, like a big roast. In my head, I'm like, okay, yeah. Even when my lady's here, I'm cooking this big ass roast, but we're gonna have leftovers.
Oh yeah.
So we'll eat for the next 3 or 4 days. We'll have this great roast, and then the next day, I'm like. I don't want that shit. I don't want that.
I do that all the time.
Well, I don't want that. I don't want to fucking take that out and reheat it. Like it's this battle I always have. I convince myself leftovers for the week. I cooked like a rack of lamb. It was like a boneless leg of lamb one time, and I was like, this would be great, thin slice on sandwiches.
Yeah,
that'd be delicious.
Yeah.
And I think I did it the next day. I did 1 sandwich, and then
enough of that.
And then the next day. I was gonna do it again, but I was like, man, because like when the meat gets cold, I was like, I don't want to have to cut this shit, like, and get it thin enough for a sandwich again. Like, I'm gonna go with Taco Bell.
Yeah. And then you go to Taco Bell, you spend about $5 or $6, and you get a bunch of junk food, and it's really cheap and it's really good.
Yeah.
It's
and it costs me maybe 50 cents in gas.
Yeah. So.
No, but I was about to say I'm gonna, because she's still gone for like a week, and I was about to say like I'm gonna cook more, but I'm not gonna lie to myself.
More than you have the past few days, maybe?
Maybe. So she's been gone for 5 days. I have cooked once.
Oosh. Yeah.
In those 5 days.
Yeah.
And it was literally just a steak.
Just pan fried or what?
Grilled on my grill.
Yeah. Okay.
And it wasn't like even with a side. It was a big ass steak, and I think I pan fried some onions to put on top of it, and
So
that
did-
was
So did you just go out there with your drink, look at your fucked up pool, make your steak, and
yeah. My pool was fucked up right now. There's a story.
okay.
Look, I was so Today sucked, by the way. Just today we're recording absolute dog shit of a day. So first, backstory. Our washer and dryer. Well, our dryer fucked up at one point. We got it fixed. The washer's fucked up to where the woman who owned it before us apparently got the most rare shit in the world to where you can't just fix it. They have to like send out for fucking God to come down. So we had to buy a new washer, long story short. So because me and my lady both kind of have the OCD where like you want the washer and dryer to match.
Oh yeah.
Like that's first world shit. So we bought a set because we just didn't want to buy the washer.
Right.
So we bought the set, fine. So there's that, and they were supposed to come today. They gave me the window between 12 and 5. And for some fucking reason, so like I want to say 3 or 4 months ago, there was an issue with our pool to where it wasn't getting suction in the pump. So my backyard has a lot of bricks over the pool. So we had to pay somebody to pull all the bricks up so that the company could come out and put new plumbing down. And then the person came back out and put the bricks back down. Got that fixed. Woke up this past week, I think it was Saturday morning, and the spa was fucking bone dry. Like just emptied. I was like, what the fuck is this? I played with the pump, was no suction, nothing. So today, same day, a pool guy was supposed to come out, not from the company that laid down the plumbing, but just a general pool company through our insurance was going to come out and evaluate it. Also 12 to 5 window. And so I was at work, and we actually had some important shit to get done at the bar today. But I was like, hey, I have to be home by 12. I have to dip out at 11:30.
Tend to your castle.
Yeah, so I dipped out. I got home by 12. There was a little bit of traffic. I was stressed, but I got home by 12. And no one fucking came till these goddamn, the windows. I think, so the washer dryer guys showed up at 3:30, and they were supposed to install it and then take our old ones. He walks in, he looks, and he's like, the gas valve on your wall is old, and if we attach to it, it's going to leak.
Hey.
And I was like, is it leaking now? And he's like, it's not leaking now, but I can tell you when we attach to it, it's going to leak. So we're not going to do it right now. You have to get a new valve put in. And I was like, how do you do that? And he's like, they're going to call you to reschedule the thing. I'm going to be the one coming back. I'll put it on for you, but you need a new valve. And I was like, all right. So in the meantime, he put all the new equipment in our garage, and he's like, when we come back out, we'll finish the job, but there's that. And I was like, great.
Yeah.
So you didn't do what you're supposed to do. Then the pool guy came, I think around 4:15, 4:30ish, and he pretty much came out, tested everything, and was like, yeah, there's a fucking leak underground again.
Oh God.
And he's like, so whoever came out and fixed it a few months ago either didn't do a good job or something happened, and your pool's fucked right now. Like, you need to pay. And I was like, oh, all right, like, great.
Why not?
Great.
Add to it.
So yeah, that's why Mitch made a joke about how I went grilling, and then my pool was fucked up because my spa was bone dry empty.
Tender spot. Apologize.
Oh, it's not like I'm using the spa.
No, I said tender spot. Like, that you're.
Yeah.
I
No, I mean tender, but like it's not like I'm personally like I'm not thinking it personally.
Oh, okay. That's good.
If I had planned on using the spa, I'd be even more upset. I don't say very upset, but I am upset. Anyway,
Anyone would be upset. That's a bummer.
it's just irritating. Like we got it fixed, and the American, like the home insurance doesn't cover that shit.
Yeah.
Doesn't cover the underground plumbing or whatever.
Oh, really?
It covers the pool equipment, but it doesn't cover like the underground plumbing. So
I wonder, is there like a cutoff for like home insurance is like, what did it turn on?
Yeah, and I got it back on now.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
That's why we jump cut.
It looks like, you see
Yeah, I was doing that earlier too.
something's fucked with our camera. Now it's better. Okay. If you want to go back.
I'll figure it out. Don't worry. And the camera's not working.
This might not all be usable at all. Did it turn off again? Yeah, it sure did.
That's why the jump cuts.
Huh. Okay. Well,
Whatever. You're hearing us. You could hear us. That's all that matters.
All our interesting shit to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, pool's kind of a bummer. Anything else out there? Just getting your goat there.
The camera.
The camera, yeah.
Actually, so I was gonna. We were talking about it a little bit. I was gonna post a rant, and I didn't get around to it.
So you're dealing with your friggin' washer dryer.
Yeah. No. So the rant I was gonna talk about. Solo. I was gonna do a solo one, but we're here talking. I'm fed up. This is first world problem shit. I am completely fed up with shopping carts. And before we get into it, I'm absolutely in agreement that everyone should return their shopping cart to the cart corral, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Totally on board. I think you're a piece of shit if you don't. That's not what I'm talking about. Just to clarify. What I'm talking about is stores not maintaining their shit.
Okay, yeah.
Because, and I know everyone jokes around about it, and I think I posted like a story on my Instagram where like my cart was fucked. But it seems like every time I go, either the cart is fucked, like two of the wheels are broken, and it's embarrassing. Like when
you know what's amazing is that this is, I swear, it's like a 70s era stand-up routine, like along with What's the Deal with Airline Food. How come every time you go to the store, you always get the cart with the squeaky wheel?
But I'm tired of it.
Because most of them are fucking squeaky.
I'm tired of it. Like
I'm tired of it, damn it.
I know it's a joke and people laugh at it like, oh, you always get the messed up one. But like, I'm sick of this shit.
No, but look, like brick and mortar stores are on their final fucking straw. Like, do they not know that the internet exists? It's like every time like a restaurant closes at 7, every time a grocery store is like having shitty service or one cashier open, and I want to just say, like, you realize you're on the chopping block here. Yeah. You're on your way out.
And then it's not like they have help. They always have some kid who's like 19 with the fucking, not the broom, but like the sweep thing.
Yeah.
Just walking up and down aisles. Tell that guy to get a fucking screwdriver and go out and fix the wheels.
Yeah. It's
so petty and it doesn't ruin my day, but it just.
I've never gotten a good cart at Walmart.
Well,
Target has some great carts.
They also have some fucked up ones.
Oh, okay.
I've had a loud ass cart in Target.
Never had a bad cart at Target. Walmart, always a bad cart. Stater Brothers has some bad carts.
Stater Brothers, I think, puts all their effort into like their meat. So they don't give a fuck about their carts.
Ooh, they do have those like smaller black ones that are like, like half the size of a normal grocery cart.
Those make me uncomfortable.
Really? I love them.
They make me so uncomfortable.
They're so
I don't know why. They make sense.
Again, if you've ever lived on your own and you're shopping for less, it's...
It makes sense, but when I see them, it's like a smart car. Like I wouldn't... I guess smart cars is like...
Yeah.
Anyway.
Is it like a racial thing? Like you're just uncomfortable with the smaller black carts? Or
if it was a bigger black cart.
See, okay, there you go.
No. Okay. Anyway, it makes me mad. Like Home Depot, I don't mind as much.
Yeah.
Because like that's a loud store.
Yeah.
But like when I'm walking through Vaughn's and it's quiet and it's just like, and then just on top of it, like I'm not gonna say the name of the bar, but there was a bar I used to go to a lot. You know which one. And I never really, it took me some time, but like they had in their bathroom, there was a urinal, a small stall, then like the bigger handicap stall.
Okay.
And the bigger handicap stall didn't have a door on it. I was going there for maybe 3 or 4 years consistently, and they never put a fucking door on the handicap stall. Like my place, my bar, we're not perfect. I'm not going to say we're perfect, but like we do make an effort to fix things or try to improve things. This bar went 3-4 years without a fucking a door on a stall in the bathroom. Like, improve yourself. Back to the stores. Tell one of these kids to go out there with a fucking screwdriver and tighten.
You never watched Trailer Park Boys, did you?
I didn't.
Okay, there's one of the characters. It's like that's how he makes his money is taking grocery carts, fixing them, and bringing them back to.
That should happen.
There is. I've seen them. There are trucks that do that.
They need more of them.
Yeah. No, there's so many things, and it's worth a whole discussion. It's like there are so many things where people, I don't think, realize that their industry is in decline because of the new world, the internet, and shit like that. Mm-hmm. I don't think they realize how in danger their job is, and that they need to step it up.
Sure.
Example. So many examples. Have you ever gone to a fast food restaurant with the kiosks? I purposely go up and use the pay for yourself, touch screen.
I haven't been inside a fast food restaurant even before COVID. I've just done the drive-throughs.
Okay.
Yeah.
banks. Now their ATMs like do it all. Like you can get cash and, you know, deposit all that stuff. I remember going into a bank with, I had like 2 or 3 checks that I was going to deposit, and I did not want to put it in the machine because sometimes they misread it. And
It's happened to me, yeah.
I'd rather save myself the trouble, wait in line, hand it to a teller, and take care of it.
And know it's safe.
Right. And I remember waiting in line. A person came out, you know, what do you wait? You know, banker, good service, whatever. What are you waiting for? I was, I have these checks I want to deposit. Oh, you know, our kiosks, they take checks. It's cool. I have several checks. I'd rather, you know, just do it. I mean, like, you know, he's like, you know, there's a line. We'd really appreciate it if you just use the kiosk. And I wanted to tell this guy that kiosk is taking your job.
Eventually.
You're going to be like,
this is going to, yeah.
Okay, fine. Use the kiosk. Guess what happened? It did not read both my checks. And I had to call in and do the thing. Flash forward to a week ago, literally went to the same bank, same branch. The entire teller desk is now gone.
Oh.
Is now gone. Just ATM, whatever. So there's a few banker like desks around there, but the whole front bar with the...
So they probably had the people there like if you're looking for like a loan or something like that. But you're talking about typical teller shit is all
right.
ATM now.
All tellers, all ATM now. And I wanted to like say like... It's frustrating in a time when I'm like, okay, service jobs are on the decline. The internet's taking over. The ease is taking over because you assholes keep asking for raises, and you can't. You know, you're getting rubbed out by machines, and then you're surprised, and then you want to go. Yeah, it's a whole rant.
No.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that kind of stuff. Anytime I go to a fast food restaurant and there's some shitty kid who doesn't want to, you know, take my order, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm putting you out. You know, by you know, I'm not even asking for modifications. I want that, and can I have an extra one of that? Fine. It's like, okay. Okay.
No, I get that.
We're turning into those old guys now.
No, I mean, maybe I do feel when I start ranting on something like it's a legitimate problem, but I'm sure all old guys think it's a legitimate problem.
Yeah.
But back to the grocery carts.
Those fucking grocery carts.
No, like it now to take blame off the store. I don't know why it bothers me so much, but like you ever go to the not really Home Depot, but like just a grocery store. You go up to get a cart, and there's like a piece of paper in the cart.
Yeah.
I don't know why that bothers me so much.
Okay. Or now lately because of COVID, we see those Sani wipes or whatever.
Yeah.
The sanitation wipes like laying in the cart. Yeah.
Even pre-COVID, but yeah, absolutely that with that. Like, just in my head, like there was one where like it was literally just like a crinkle of newspaper in it, and I was like, who did that? Like, really think who left it there?
I'd say I'd have a bigger problem with. Okay, so you picked it up at like the pickup spot in the store.
No, so yeah, like right outside the door or something. It's like
so
right there.
So that means some 19-year-old whatever picked it up from the parking lot, brought it back, set it there. So he saw the bread
and he didn't care.
He probably saw it, or I mean, granted, if they're all stacked up or whatever, but someone saw it and was like, I don't want to get that. Put it back. I'm assuming.
There's that to where like the employee did not clean it, which okay, but on top of that, like I can't. Granted, I'm not one of these people that reads the coupon magazine while I'm shopping, but like where I would just leave it there.
Yeah.
That's where my mind goes, and it's one of those things too. Like this is a weird comparison. It's about to get weird. You ever like had that situation where like you go into your restroom and someone left a log of shit in there, and for some reason, and this sounds weird, for some reason you don't want to flush it. You know what I'm saying? It's the logical thing to do would be I'm gonna flush this.
Yeah.
But for some reason it's gross.
And it's not my job to flush it.
But it's not my job, and it's for some reason it's gross for you to flush it because it's not yours. Does that make sense?
Yes. Oh god.
Same thing.
Yeah.
If this cart has, I think this happened the other day actually, had like one of the coupon magazines.
Yeah.
Up top,
use it.
and I was like, I don't want that cart. Even though the coupon magazine was like very neatly, like someone just laid it in there, and I was like, "Fuck that cart! I don't want that cart.
It's trashy
because that thing is not mine.
Yeah,
and that's someone else's." And so I literally pulled it out and took the next cart and pushed it back in.
Yeah,
and it's petty, but at the same time, I'm just thinking like, who just leaves shit in their cart like that?
Yeah,
like who does that?
Yeah,
like granted, if it's like a receipt. I can see like if you're unpacking your car and the receipt flies out,
right?
Fine. But when you see like paper towels or like the sanitizer wipes or the magazines, I'm just like, what's wrong with you people? It bothers me.
Yeah. Or they'll leave their kid in the cart. And...
Well, yeah. I mean, that's just now you have extra resources.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's live food.
My brother works at Stater Brothers, and I'm sure he has some great stories. We'll have to. Every once in a while he'll come on. He's like, "Fuck."
He's like, fuck yeah, I left the trash in the car.
he works in the meat department, as a matter of fact. And he's
nice.
like, his favorite go to is everyone is like, do you have any flat meat? And it's like, they have their display out front. It's like, do you have any flat meat? He's like, no, we're out. Could you check them back? No, I'm not going to check them back. Our stock for today is out. We don't have any. And then that's, you don't have it. Can you check in the back? And he tells me like all the time, he'll go in the back, stand there, and then come right back out. So.
Did you ever watch Seinfeld?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the episode? I forgot the context of the episode, but there's an episode where George's dad is like I think it's Seinfeld. It might have been King of Queens because Jerry Stiller plays the same fucking person. But I think it was Seinfeld, but like he's shopping and he tells the guys like, hey, these yams, go in the back, get me one of the good yams. And he's like, sir, these are the yams I have. And he's like, no, you take this one, you go to the back, you get me a good yam. And the guy, it might have been King of Queens. Okay. I forgot which one, but it was Jerry Stiller. And the guy just, you see him walk, the same thing what you just said.
Yeah.
He walks through the flaps,
right,
stands there, comes back with the same yam. And he's like, here you go, sir. And he's like, now that's a yam. Now that's a yam.
No, Kyle, my brother, has a million stories. I mean, like, most of the time he'll come home bitching and moaning about, customers. I'm like, well, they're people, they're assholes, and you're in a service business. What do you want? Kind of. But sometimes he has some good stinkers out there. They're pretty good.
And that's what's kind of funny is, especially in my bartending experience, I have a ton of stories of shitty people. But then you kind of even like, I've been to a Stater Brothers where I was waiting for my turn and just hearing the old woman asking about meat. I'm like, fuck. I do not envy this guy right now.
Yeah.
Like, so I can imagine. Granted, I would still attest that the bartending stories are worse because imagine that person drunk. But even like with the meat, I remember, I think it was a guy one time was asking all these just inane questions. Like, how is this cut? Like, what's better for the grill? What's better for the pan? Like, and the guy behind the counter was like, the fuck do you want? Like, what do you want? Like, he didn't say it, but you could tell he was just like, so he was trying to answer these questions. And granted, it's like Stater Brothers has like their meat department. Those guys are like, they know what they're talking about. This is like Vaughn's, where like the guy just, he's taught how to cut the meat and that's it.
Just tell him to Google it. I feel like I'd get written up a lot. Like, you'll have to Google that. I don't know.
That's a fair answer. I still think one of the dumbest fucking conversations I've ever had was with somebody who called the bar. And they were like, hi, this is one of those things like it sounds made up, but it's absolutely happened. They're like, hi, so I just found you on Google. Where are you located?
Okay.
My response, what I would have said had I not, been a good customer service person, was check 2 lines fucking down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
where the address is.
You Googled it. Like, you could find literally what you're looking for. 2 lines down.
That's fucked up. Like, where you would normally say, like, how do I find your bar? Well, if you Google it, then you'll see the map. Yeah. But if a guy leads with, hey, I Googled your bar, where are you located?
He said, I found you on Google. Where are you located? I want to be like, there's literally a window with a small map that you can click on. What I said was obviously like, oh, well, here's where are you coming from? What I wanted to say was like, you fucking just answered your own question. It's right there. It's right there.
Yeah.
This is why I have gray hair early.
Yeah. I'm surprised you don't drink more.
I should.
Yeah, well, people. I mean, yeah, I'm blessed to have a job where I'm one of those. It's one of those jobs that I can make up enough jargon that I can just confuse people to make it look like I know what I'm talking about. I've never had to, but most of the time people are like, what's this, what's that? I answer the question, then they just kind of shut up. But
I've found that even in the bar, almost any industry, if you're confident enough,
yeah,
and you just say things, 9 out of 10 times the person will go along with it.
Interesting. Oh, okay.
Segue into a story. So when I was off to college, I came back to the bar, and I was still kind of rusty as far as recipes go. Kind of forget stuff. And do you know a Scooby snack?
No.
It kind of varies on where you're at, how a Scooby snack is made. But generally speaking, coconut rum, Malibu, Midori, or watermelon pucker, whatever you want to do.
Nice.
Pineapple and cream. I know some places will put like banana liqueur in it, but generally speaking, that's the recipe.
Why is it called a Scooby snack?
Because names. I don't know.
Okay.
So this guy ordered 6 Scooby snacks from me. And I don't know what fucking possessed me. But I made it with those things. For some reason, I thought it had Jaeger in it.
Oh, shit.
So I pour the Jaeger in, and I shake it. And as I'm pouring the shots out, I'm like, this looks gross as fuck. I was like, because like it's supposed to come out like a light green, creamy color.
Oh, okay.
And it came out like this brown, dirty.
Oh.
And I was like, this is not the right recipe. Fuck. But it was 6 of them. You know what I mean? I was like, so I just, theater school. I just looked confident, kept pouring it. And you tell the guy, was like, what the fuck is this? Like, the guy was just like, what? And I was like, here you go, sir. What, $30, whatever it was. And he's like, are these Scooby snacks? And I was like, yeah. He's like, they don't look like Scooby snacks. This is where that theater training came in.
Oh, my God.
Confidence. I was like, it's absolutely a true story. I was like, oh, you know what? My mistake. I wasn't sure if you meant West Coast or the East Coast Scooby snack.
Way.
And he was like, what do you mean?
Oh.
And bullshit out of my mouth. I was like, so I just got back from going to school in Las Vegas. And I was like, and I bartended on the Strip.
Oh.
I did not bartend on the Strip. and I was like, I bartended on the Strip. And so we got a lot of people from out of town. He's like, okay. And I was like, yeah. And a lot of people from the East Coast, like New York, maybe Chicago, but New York, Boston, they like their Scooby snacks a certain way. And he's like, oh, like, so what's the East Coast way? And I was like, exactly like the West Coast way, but they put Jaeger in it. And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah, it's kind of weird, but that's just what I got used to making. And he's like, okay, well, tell you what, I'll take these. Can you make 6 more of the West Coast ones? And I was like,
way.
Cool. Doubled the sale. And he paid for all of them. But my point is, utter bullshit. That was probably one of the most disgusting shots I've ever made.
Love it.
I
did you try
didn't try it. No,
okay.
I did not want to try it. Watermelon and Jaeger. Like, fuck.
I kind of want to try it.
I am curious, like looking back at it. Camera went out again.
Oh, sorry.
We already talked about it.
Yeah.
But no, I was kind of curious to taste it, but at the same time, I was like, I don't want to taste it. Because like with that kind of bullshit I'm pushing, if I taste it and it's fucking gross, and I'm like, ugh.
What did I do?
Like, no, if I look like, my story is no longer sold.
Yeah.
This has to be a normal, like, this is normal.
I wonder, it'd be fun. I was going to bring this up after we recorded. It's just an idea. Okay, what if we we recorded an episode just blind drunk, like did shots before, and then we'll record it, go back and watch. We don't have to post it, but we could talk about what we did record if we decide not to post it.
I think if we did it that way, because I will say, I don't think on this one it's a thing, but remember the preseason?
Yeah.
For those at home, the preseason, we call it, was before we had a nice camera that doesn't work.
That fucking turns off all the time.
What did we record on?
You have that little webcam.
Oh, that's right.
It was made for podcasts, I guess.
Oh, it was the shitty little I remember now, yeah.
Which we still have somewhere.
I have it. I think it's in the other room, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
But no, so we recorded maybe 7 or 8 episodes, just warming up.
It was video and audio, so it was a real grainy, it was real hardcore.
Yeah, and some of them, like, they're not bad. We might release them for fun. But
same exact content.
Yeah, but the quality of the video wasn't great and the audio wasn't great. But anyway,
you guys would be surprised. Side note, tangent. You guys would be surprised. You could talk about the same damn boring shit, but if you put it into a good microphone, it's suddenly a lot more interesting.
It is, and you are a lot more into it.
It's blows my mind. Our quality of content has not grown.
It just sounds better.
I don't think it just sounds better. Yeah. So people listen. Anyway.
No, but so there's one of the episodes of that, because I looked back at it somewhat recently, and there was an episode of that where I think it was me, it might have been me, you, and Eddie. I forgot which one it was, but like we weren't like blind drunk, but we were
feeling it.
We were feeling it, and it was not fun to watch.
Okay.
It was super cringy.
We should do, what if we said, okay, we'll do... We could do like a movie review kind of thing, but of movies that have been out for a while, like a classic movie or whatever. Like, for example, Godfather. And we say, okay, every time there's just purely by example, every time there's this, you take a shot. Every time there's that, the typical drinking game for a movie. And then at the end of it, we record a review talking about our likes and don't likes. And then, it'd be worth a good try. Well, that might be fun. That'll be on our extended DVD.
The unreleased.
Yeah.
That might be fun.
Speaking of which, my wife has the... I collect a lot of DVDs. I have a few shelves of a lot of DVDs. And my wife brought hers over when we moved in together. And she has the Lord of the Rings, the fuck you versions, like the super long...
Oh, yeah.
Like, whatever. And I love Lord of the Rings. So I was like, cool, let's do it. And amazing. You know, when movies like long when there's 2 DVDs of it, like you have to change DVD. Like back in the day, you needed to change VHSs for like a 3-hour movie or some shit like that. But when it's a 6-hour DVD like movie on a DVD, it's amazing. Well, that's half of the box. The other half is all the special features.
Yeah.
Longer than the actual movie special features.
Oh,
and we're like halfway through it, and it's amazing.
I'm afraid to watch the uncut Lord of the Rings stuff, because even
the orcs aren't real.
no. So Return of the King, I watched in theaters.
Yes, me too.
And I enjoyed it thoroughly, but like that movie like wouldn't end.
We were talking about that. That movie has like 6 endings.
Well, no, so it would like I don't remember the ins and outs of it, but I remember like it was like fade in, conclusion scene, fade out. Cool.
Another conclusion.
Like, not that I'm not someone who applauds in the theater, but like if your word's like, okay, oh, there's another scene,
and another scene.
Then it fades out. But it wasn't like it faded to the next scene. It would like fade out and then fade back into the next scene. And I was like, I got shit to do, man.
And I will tell you that the extended versions, they're longer.
I know. So that's why I'm afraid of it. I don't want to. I have enough. I know the information I need.
No, but it would be fun. Like we'll watch Fight Club, and every time Brad Pitt's wearing sunglasses, we'll take a shot or something like that, and then we'll go and review it. But
that might be fun.
It might be fun just to do it, but
yeah.
And we'll go back
and not tell anyone that we're hammered.
Yeah, and like and then like we'll go back and watch it. If we're like, no, we can't post this. We'll make an episode talking about what we did.
Reviewing the drunk review.
Reviewing a review. I love it. Oh, okay, I'm kind of into it. Speaking of great movies, if you guys haven't seen it yet, Cinderella, the new Cinderella, it's Amazon Prime. Do you know of it?
I know of it. I don't. I'm not gonna watch it.
My wife said, Mitch, can we just have a few drinks and watch it? It's like, a lot of few drinks and watch it, and it was a great night. Horrible movie, but great night.
There comes a time,
a long time ago.
There comes a time where I just think. So I will say this: we come from theater. I'm okay with remakes.
Yeah.
And then there's some things that I'm just like, that should stop being remade. When I say the reason why I brought up we come from theater is because really, every time a theater does Romeo and Juliet, it's technically a remake. They're doing their rendition on it using the same script, kind of.
Okay.
Like anytime a play is done that's already been done, it's a remake.
No,
it's different, but at the same time, they're taking it and they're making it their own, their rendition. So I'm completely okay with Hollywood doing remakes of movies. If they're doing their own rendition, they're kind of taking their take on it, fine. But there are some, like in theater, no one should do Our Town ever again. No one needs to do that play.
I kind of see the spirit of what you're saying, and I kind of agree to an extent. Like, people need to stop making that movie. Cinderella's one. Like, go see the original. You can. With theater, it's different because
it is different. Don't get me wrong.
It's different, but I do see what you're saying, and I will agree that there are some movies they need to stop making that movie.
Yeah, and I'm cool. I'm absolutely fine with remakes. I'm fine with reimaginings. I'm fine with all that shit. But like Cinderella, we get it.
You know what movie they need to stop making? Fucking Pocahontas. The latest one was Avatar.
Yeah.
Dances with Wolves.
The original Fast and Furious.
Last Samurai. The original Fast and fucking Furious. Oh my god, I never heard that before, but yeah.
I heard someone say that a while back, and I was like,
oh, The Last Samurai. It's all the same shit. It's the same story. You needed to become it to appreciate it. Isn't that the wrong message you want to say? Don't you want to be open-minded and open to other cultures and not have to be fully immersed in it to truly appreciate it? Shouldn't the story be, hey, I don't know. I might be wrong.
No. I get what you're saying. I'm the fault in your argument. I would say is if that's the case, I would say like 90% of all new stories are technically rehashed old stories.
Maybe.
Like how many times, if you really break it down, how many times has the story of Hamlet been told?
Okay, yeah. Okay, you can get into that. But I'm saying that somewhere between Hamlet and Cinderella, there's a line, that says, okay, it's open-ended. And then, but I would say that the Pocahontas story has been done a bazillion times, and it's a painfully obvious story.
It is, and I'm okay with the Pocahontas stories. The Fern Gully stories, if you will.
Avatar,
yeah. I'm okay with them as long as they change them enough Like it's a because Avatar was pretty too much on the nose of Fern Gully. Like it was a little too, you know what I mean? Like at least the Fast and the Furious was like,
Dude, I didn't even realize it till now.
I never did, and then somebody popped it in there. But like that one, like I was like, all right, like it's kind of because he was going undercover, and then he adopted the new culture.
By the way, quick note: I do appreciate that you are drawing the difference between the Fast and the Furious and Fast and Furious.
I made a point.
I appreciate that as a fan. I appreciate it.
Yes, but like no, it was kind of a new take on it, and Avatar was a little too on the nose of Fern Gully, but I'm okay with the same general theme and idea as long as it's done differently.
I will say that The Last Samurai was a pretty different kind of take on it because I'd never seen the white guy run around like a samurai before. That was pretty fun.
So I think The Last Samurai gets a lot of flack. Not that you're giving it the flack that I'm talking about. I think The Last Samurai gets a lot of flack that it shouldn't get because everyone's like, it's called The Last Samurai and it stars Tom Cruise. But
we all know the Paul Mooney joke. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, but Tom Cruise is not the Last Samurai they're talking about.
Right.
It's the guys, Watanabe and all them. Like they're the Last Samurai. That's what the title is referring to.
So calm down.
It's not referring to Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Like Dances with Wolves. If that movie was called like The Last of the Sioux, it wasn't Kevin Costner. It's the Sioux.
Right.
And so I think that movie, like the name of it was a little misleading. But people are like, Last Samurai starring Tom Cruise, white guy. I'm like, he's not the Last Samurai.
It's same with the Thin Man, the classic movie, The Thin Man. Have you ever seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Never mind then.
I do know, what was it called? The Great Wall with Matt Damon.
I don't know.
Haven't watched it. Don't want to.
The Great Wall.
That movie, it's something like, it was called The Great Wall and it's Matt Damon.
As a Chinese guy or?
I hope not.
I'm assuming it's the Great Wall of China is what you're talking about.
Yes. Okay. It's him and he... I don't know the story. Okay. I haven't watched it, but he's at the Great Wall and he helps fight the Mongolians or some shit. I don't know what it's about.
Yeah. There's a few like we can get into actors playing races that may not be completely on the nose, you know?
Yeah.
But that'd be a whole other episode. That'd be pretty fun.
Well, yeah, and I think having not seen it, the Matt Damon role, he wasn't playing like a Chinese person or anything. Okay. He was playing like a white guy who happened to be there or something, which, okay. I'm sure it's not historically accurate. Yeah, I thought it was going to be one of those movies that like I watched when I was bored and it's streaming.
Yeah.
And even I just never had the...
There's a long list of movies I call my gaming movies.
Will you put it on while you're doing something else?
Yes, while I play while I'm doing Minecraft or whatever, and it's on, then I can pay attention kinda to it, but I'm playing Minecraft.
See, that's whatever. Those movies, the background movies as I call them, are like movies that I've seen 1,000 times.
Okay.
To where it's there as like noise.
Noise, yeah. Like The Office on a loop. Or whatever.
Exactly. To where I don't need to pay attention to it because I know it's going to happen.
Right.
But it's there in case I need to want to look at it.
I watched. There's a lot of movies that I never saw that I want to see, but I don't want to invest the time to see it.
Oh, absolutely. I get
because I saw Dirty Dancing while playing Minecraft, and it was like, hey, this is boring. They're dancing. Minecraft. Oh, something's kind of interesting. I can look where, you know. So there's a few of those.
What movie? There was a movie that I actually started watching like that, where I just put it on the background, and then I was like, oh, it's actually pretty fucking interesting. There's been a few. Have you
Departed?
The Departed, I will devote my entire energy to. Not anymore, because now I know it enough to where now it is a background movie.
Yeah.
But Sweet Girl, I think, was one that came out recently.
Sweet Girl.
With Jason Momoa.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. I think it's on Amazon or Netflix. Pretty much, there's some twists in it, but like pretty much an insurance company like stopped producing, or not insurance company, like a pharmaceutical company stopped producing a certain medication that was working, and because they stopped making it, his wife died of cancer or something. Wow. And so then he is fucking livid.
Yeah.
And tries to kill people.
Whoa.
Like the head of the pharmaceutical company and stuff.
Crazy.
Was
it made by U-Bowl?
Maybe. It was actually kind of, it was actually.
You don't fucking know who that is.
I know who U-Bowl is.
Okay. He made like 5 of those movies.
What was the movie that U-Bowl made?
There's Rampage.
Rampage was what I was thinking of. And then he made the video game movies too, right?
He is notorious for making horribly adapted movies about video games, like House of the Dead.
Yeah.
And others. But he made Rampage, is about a guy who just goes around town shooting everything.
I remember that movie.
And then he made one called Assault on Wall Street, I think it's called, where a guy, it's like okay, because Wall Street's all bad, and this guy made all the right decisions, and he got boned, so he goes on a shooting rampage and kills a bunch of Wall Street people.
Sounds like U-Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this one was not U-Bowl, but it was good. And then there was a movie on Amazon. I forgot the title of it. It's starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and it takes place, I think when he gets on the plane, he's a co-pilot, but the entire movie takes place in the cockpit.
Left Behind with Nicolas Cage?
No.
Oh, okay.
Close. Okay. No, but then like the plane gets attempted hijacked, but it all takes place in the cockpit from like a close up angle, and it's actually really good. And I just put it on like I was working on my laptop, and I ended up like paying attention to it.
Yeah. The hidden gems.
Yeah.
The sleepers, as I call them.
A lot of those on Netflix and Amazon if you just know where to look.
Some of my favorite films were Netflix movies back when Netflix first started streaming, and they could afford like one or two of the top movies,
and they just had a hurricane of shit.
Just dumped indie films that were just whatever. But I found some of the best films I'd ever seen in that list. But
there were some good ones and also some really bad ones.
Yeah, I mean, people love to say like, House of Cards was one of the first Netflix shows that just killed it, and it was like blown away. Netflix, really? But also at the same time was Hemlock Grove, one of the worst pieces of shit I've ever seen. But it's
a lot of these young kids. In those early Netflix days,
it was rough, man.
It was a fucking Wild West on there.
So you're welcome that we put our time in.
Because there was some dog shit.
Yeah.
Platoon of the Dead is a movie I will make fun of for the rest of my life.
Did you see Army of the Dead, that newer one with John Batiste?
Yes.
We'll talk about that. I fucking hated that movie.
We can talk about that.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about it now?
No, it's fine.
Because, yeah. I was with, we don't have to go into a full review. I was with that movie until certain points where I was like, I'm no longer with you.
Platoon of the Dead or Army?
Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead. Okay, yeah.
There were Platoon of the Dead right off the bat. I was like, this is dog shit, but I'm here for it.
All right.
Army of the Dead, like I was like, okay, I'll accept this.
Yeah.
I'll accept it. I'll accept it. And then there was certain points where I was like, okay, you lost me.
Well, they lost me at the start because they should have hired. I mean, they had Jean Baptiste and a few other, but they really should have hired actors to play various roles because so many roles were just weren't actors, and so it was kind of hard to follow.
Well, there's that.
I didn't like the dancers playing zombies and shit. They were doing that weird kind of like arms back pose that we've never seen before, and it was so conceptualized and dumb.
Yeah,
it was dumb.
It was. That's one of those things where I was giving it the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. And
it's been a while since I watched it, so I don't remember the details. But then there was certain moments in the movie where I was like, I'm no longer on board. I'm off the wagon.
See, zombie movies are one of those movies that you can make over and over again. Like going back to Cinderella. Like I'm tired of seeing that fucking movie.
Well, because with zombie movies, there's so many different things you could do with them. Because a zombie movie in a hospital is going to be different than a zombie movie in an arcade.
Yeah, or a zombie movie in Vegas. And it was a great idea.
But it wasn't even like a zombie movie because there was like a hierarchy. Like the one zombie commanded the other zombies.
There was king and queen zombie, and then there was medicine woman zombie.
And that's where I forgot at one point
medicine woman zombie was pregnant, I think.
Yeah, and then I think I already jumped off the ship by the time the end came around. But when they're like, we have 11 minutes till the nuke comes, so we're gonna fly a helicopter across the city to pick this. And I was like, 11 minutes? Okay. You know how fast 11 minutes can fly?
Yeah.
And then I think the actual moment, granted it's towards the end, there was multiple moments where I was like, I'm off the ship.
Done.
The moment where I burned the ship down. Because I hate this shit. And I'm not remembering the movie in its entirety.
Can I guess what it was?
Yes.
It was the slow motion look back at the helicopter while he's standing on the roof.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was terrible.
It
was so terrible. It's that cheesy. Yeah.
So I can only suspend my disbelief for so long.
Yeah.
The willing suspension of disbelief. I can only suspend it for so long. There's a nuke coming.
There's zombies running.
There's zombies everywhere.
And this one character who's been on the ball the whole time
is going to take a moment to enjoy it. It was such a dumb. When I say unbelievable.
There's a term you've used in the past. I don't know if you've used it on the
shit on the salad.
Yeah. The shit in the salad.
Because because so unbelievable is normally a positive term. So I'm going to say non-believable.
Non-believable. Okay.
Because it's not, nothing about that moment made sense.
Nothing tracks. Is completely out of character, out of plot, out of
Because check it, and this is off topic, but like
check it.
We've obviously camera out again. In case you see the jump cut, camera went out. We just realized. Even like when I was bartending a lot. So when I would bartend, I was a bartender, lead bartender. I was also manager. I was boss man. So it was very stressful. So even in those stressful nights, if I was having a shit day, if I was in a fight with my girl, if I had some friend drama, whatever it was, when I was working and there was issues to deal with, none of that shit mattered because I had to deal with this shit.
Right.
We always talk about theater. When you're doing a play, when you're on stage, all the shit that you're dealing with, you have to put aside and you're doing the play.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine getting zombies. Zombies are fucking attacking. Yeah. There's a nuke coming any fucking second that I'm going to stop and deal with my personal shit.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to the helicopter. I'm getting the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Can you imagine asking like any vet who was like a former operator, special ops or whatever, and saying, "Hey, did you ever stop and take a moment to?"
Yeah. When you were in the middle of Nam.
Hey, after you blasted Bin Laden in the face and you were securing the area, did you ever stop after you blasted? Did you like think,
just looked around and took the moment in?
This is a good moment. Or were you on the fucking ball? And anyway, okay.
But that's the point though. Like even like I said, when the bar is busy and I have personal shit going on, I'm not thinking of the personal shit, and that's bartending. Yeah. I can't imagine if zombies were around me and a nuke is coming that I'm gonna stop to take a breath and admire the scenery.
Because he stopped to take a breath. He's like, hey, you know what? I think I'm really reconnecting with my stepdaughter right now. I'm gonna take a moment. And
this is a great moment.
If you haven't seen it, it's one of those movies that we can't be possibly talking about the same movie. And anything is really just kind of an understatement because it was just a shitty movie. It was a shitty movie with the biggest budget and a great concept and a stellar cast.
You're right. I thought the concept of there's a zombie outbreak in Vegas.
Right.
They quarantined it, but there's a vault full of money.
Right.
And they need to go in and get it. I actually thought that was a great premise.
Yeah, because they're going to bomb Vegas, just get it done.
Yeah.
And, and then that's, hey, all my money's in there. Can you go get it real quick? Great idea.
It's a great premise. And then they started making the zombies like I said, there's a hierarchy of zombies where like they're being spiritually controlled.
Then
and
there
was
was some weird like crowbarred in thing about how the government was corrupt somehow, and like they were trying to just kill the poor people and the immigrants somehow.
You probably remember it better than I do. Didn't they? Like on a whim, they're just like, we're gonna move the nuke up 24 hours.
Yeah, they gave him a timeline, and then in the middle of the thing, there was a newscast like, oh, by the way, this arbitrary timeline that we made up, that we just somehow are like well within and we're fine, is suddenly moved up, and now it's just a big thing. Why not just from jump be like, hey, they're nuking the place tomorrow. We need you to go now.
Get in, get out,
boom.
Go.
The timeline's established. Did they start filming and be like, shit, we got to move this up?
we need the up the stakes.
Oh my god.
It is that just particularly made me laugh because, like, look,
me too.
I'm not in the government, I'm not in the military, but I can't imagine that they're just like, we're gonna move this up 24 hours.
I can't imagine anything in the government moving that fast.
but just why? Like they didn't even give it. I don't think they gave an explanation for why. It was just like, oh hey, by the way, we're just gonna move this up 24 hours.
Afghanistan. That was rushed, and even then they were late.
It took a couple weeks. Yeah, like they.
We're doing this now. Oh, by now I mean next week. Okay, 1 or 2 days more. And then
that alone, because it really didn't. Did they give an explanation for why? I forgot. I think it was literally just like
I think that goes back to that crowbarred horse shit of like there was a politician that says, you know what, we hate evil. We're gonna move the day up in celebration of 4th of July or some shit. Like
okay, fine.
Some horrible thing like that.
I just like that. It's kind of like the Purge movies, where I think the Purge concept for a movie is absolutely great.
Stellar.
And every Purge movie I've seen has been so underwhelming.
Yes.
Like that is such a great concept.
Yeah.
And
even the first one, I'm sorry to say, but the first one, great concept, and everyone's like, no, you have to love it because it's the first one. It was confined to one location. It was just the house, which I get budget, whatever, but there was so much more you could have done with it. And then they made it weird about social economic status and stuff, and it's like the time when the poor people rise up, and
I mean there were moments in there where they kind of touched on those issues, and I actually thought it was fine, but just all the the political and social issues that they sprinkle in, all that aside, just the movies weren't that great.
Yeah.
And it's such a good concept.
Again, they should have hired actors too. Most of the time, there was one or two like good actors, but they, then the rest I think were just nephews and nieces
or mistresses.
Yeah, yeah. But
a lot of those in Hollywood.
A lot of those in Hollywood.
Yeah, but it's a tragedy when a great premise for a movie is just ruined by.
Yeah,
I think
like Cinderella.
Army of the Dead, I think, was just someone thought of that concept, and then when they were writing it, they just thought too much.
Yeah. That had to have been it.
They just thought too much. Like, what else can we put in there?
Oh shit, we got John Batiste. Oh, fucking okay. We got to give him more to do. And yeah.
Or even just like, okay, well, how can we have the nuke? Push the nuke 24 hours. Push it forward. And then also there's going to be a king and queen of the zombies that control shit, and we can't piss them off.
And they're pregnant. Wait, what?
And the tiger is a zombie, but it's on guard. It's just patrolling.
That's right.
But if you kill someone or you leave a sacrifice for the tiger, they leave. I don't forgot. Like.
And also one of the characters is suddenly, who was kind of a jerk earlier, is now also going to be full on rapist and just like try to kill one of the other girls for some reason.
Yeah. It was a weird movie.
Dumb.
And like I said, I was on board and I gave it the benefit of the doubt for most of it, and then I was like, I'm done.
This episode not brought to you by Army of the Dead. Damn it, Netflix. Just stick to political dramas and LGBTQ movies, I guess. That's what they do, right?
That was a Netflix original. I forgot.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that'd be I think I'm done talking.
Yeah, we're done. We jumped all around.
We started with, what did we start with? Oh, grocery carts.
Grocery carts.
Wound up to Cinderella, talking zombies. But hey, it's just us.
I think there should be a movie about grocery carts.
Rubber was pretty close.
Rubber, I thoroughly enjoyed.
I loved Rubber.
I'm not saying it was great, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It was yeah.
It was original, if anything.
It was not and I know when people say I love it because it was trash cinema, whatever, and I love The Room. Have you ever seen The Room? It's trash cinema. It's great. It's fun. I love it. I actually really enjoyed Rubber.
I didn't think Rubber was trash cinema. No, I know a lot of people said that. I actually thought it was a decent movie.
It was the biggest middle finger to the artistic community ever. Yeah. And I loved it.
But to sound like that guy, I actually really like The Room.
Did you like The Room? Did you like The Room?
I do like it.
Because it's so bad?
So there are, we're about to go off, but before we go off,
all right,
there are people who do the whole I love the movie because it's so bad and I'm ironic.
Trash cinema, yeah.
I actually enjoyed the fuck out of it because it's like, how do I, when you like, like the movie you watch, like any movie where it's like, okay, this movie was clearly not written or made by a soldier, but it's someone who saw war movies, and made a war movie,
right?
And you're like, okay. That's when I first watched that movie, having touched my toe in the Hollywood industry. I watched it and I was like, I could see what he's trying to do, and he fails miserably,
right? But
I could see every step of the way, what he's trying to do, because he's watched all these movies and he's trying to recreate it,
You know what? I think we're going to start a list of just random topics that we can go to when we should be recording episodes.
Sure.
But the concept of trash cinema and the entertainment of trash cinema is a great topic because there's some that are just, it all gets down to intent in my opinion, but we'll get into that more. We'll have that as another episode. So I want you to save most of your points about The Room because obviously we're going to have The Room is going to come up on that. So
I think that's the summary. We can go into more details later, but that's the summary of it. Is when I watched that movie, I could see what he's trying to do.
Yeah. The intent. The honest
the intent of it, because there are certain tropes in movies.
Yeah.
One specific scene we'll talk about is do you remember the hello doggy?
Yes.
Oh God. Hi, you're my favorite customer. That scene.
Okay, gotta go.
Yeah. That scene, I could see it. It's supposed to be the scene early on where your main character goes in. And they're like, oh, everyone likes him.
Establish the good.
Everyone likes him. He's welcome here. He's a regular, and just it's just a trash scene.
Whoosh.
But watching it, I'm like, okay, I could Like if you told like an 8-year-old to write a movie,
Yeah.
what's the 8-year-old going to do? He's
Yeah.
going to look at movies he's seen and try to recreate
It's
them.
like one of those computer programs that look at conversation and try to write a book or some shit like that. It's like
Exactly.
that's the room. It's
That's why I enjoy the shit out of it.
yeah. Okay.
Because it's not good.
Oh, I love it. I own it. It's amazing.
Yeah, same.
Okay, yeah,
but I absolutely love watching it.
okay.
My lady does not. And every now and then when she asks me to do something, I'll be like, anything for my princess. And she
Yeah, mine hasn't.
she hates it.
My wife really wants to watch The Disaster Artist, and I'm like, we need to watch The Room first.
Yes, you need to watch The Room
Because
first.
you will not believe Disaster Artist. You won't believe it. It just won't be. Yeah. Anyway,
Yes.
but on that note, thank you, Mike, for having me over and hanging out and just talking into a mic, and hopefully people find it interesting.
That's all we can hope for.
You know what? They can't all be bangers, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying this wasn't a banger. I thought it was a banger.
I thought it was a banger. That was good.
But hey, thank you for listening. If you have any topics, just random, like whatever topics to talk about, or any trash cinema you can recommend, we probably won't watch it, but you can recommend it. Leave a comment, I guess, or a like.
We don't get enough comments.
We don't get comments.
I feel like we, on the YouTube channel, we get views, but
Yeah.
no comments.
No comments. It's hard. I get it. I never comment.
I never comment.
I don't think I've ever commented on a YouTube video in my life, so I'm telling people to do it.
I do when I get mad. I commented on James Corden's show recently.
Oh, really? I troll people usually if I'm leaving a comment. Like I'll correct people's
That's
grammar.
on Facebook. That's on Facebook. On YouTube,
Yeah, I'll correct grammar. I'll like cite things that are wrong. Just I love doing that. But anyway,
someone clearly faking.
yeah. You guys are probably gonna troll the comments. I don't care. Do what you want.
Troll the comments.
Do what you want, man.
Please
watch it if you want. I don't care. Do what you want to do. But
leave comments.
leave comments if you can, please. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. If you liked the content of this video, click the link below to subscribe.
And if you leave a comment, we'll send you a link to our intro song, the unedited full version, called Drake Bash. It's pretty good. But anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later. Bye, Mike.
Bye.